And ladies and weekend. Lady. I don't know, your mom might be watching. Your fully watching.
Yeah.
We've made for you, actually, we've made a show for you today. Jake did the show document. Other than that, it's I'm just going to use without demonizing the people who work here. That's what it's about. And, you know, as fun as it is to these games, it's
2%
so it's new and so
Yeah.
it can crush your soul.
Yeah.
So to take, actually, this is cool. So topics today. We're probably kick off with impressions of the Samsung Galaxy S9. Actually, by difference.
Yeah. I was like, and looking at camera differences on the back.
Flipping started working at in California. We'll go through what a burger flipping robot means and how effective it was.
This article was Master Disaster, so I'm assuming that Jake wrote it himself. Also, just customers are going to get receiving tax bills because Newegg didn't charge them sales tax. Sorry, Jake. Members were able to put Coffee Lake CPUs into Skylake and KB Lake motherboards to a certain degree of success, which is actually kind of crazy.
So we're done with this. Think those things that we just thought that we're probably going to end up talking about something else.
We sometimes do it.
We got that Squarespace. We got FreshBooks. We got Savage Jerky.
Hey.
Yeah, baby. So we're gonna kick things with the most important news this week. Minus cat tips. The YouTube has videos of cat, including this fantastic one right here, uploaded yesterday. I was trying to, well, you can really figure out based on the to do that. And, you know, that he needed some of his bit. Just in my hair. So this doesn't subscribe for 120,000 views. And is most important and it's media. It's cost 1,000 subscribers.
I'm surprised you have a B minus.
It's just because of a couple of
Okay.
from 8,000 subscribers. We should probably go all the way up to here. So this is when the section of hit flow plane.
Okay. Yeah.
So we, you know, 1,500 subscribers. Like, normally it actually does go. Like, let's look at the full monthly statistics here. It's a great site for creeping on YouTube channels, by the way, you guys. It's awesome. You can like see how many subs, how many views they get. This is best. Don't trust it, believe me. Anywhere, it's like between 77 cents and $2.
And people to pay for things like that.
It's anywhere between 16 cents and
Yeah.
like oh,
Until you change.
that's right. Hold on a
I
second.
just gave him a bad idea. I should not have said anything.
That's Luke's restaurant. Actually brilliant.
So you don't know. So you take away all the like, I don't know what to pick off the menu because you don't.
Well, because it's wait, yeah. So you
You have 3 different tiers of loot boxes.
so you can, yeah. So you the fuller loot box.
Single serving, double serving, or like 3-course meal loot box.
Wow. And so, so some people, like gaming themed establishments are totally a thing for the stars, I guess.
That's the gaming bars.
Luke's restaurant, where you're gonna like, sometimes you're gonna get a sort of adequate meal, and sometimes you're gonna get the freaking dinner or whatever crap is popular.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not get horse armor anymore. Reference. Reference though. Good reference though.
Shut up! I
like
hate
it.
you.
You'll send it to it'll literally just be like a day-old McDonald's. You get some junk.
Either you could get an adequate meal, or you could get like, something really nice. It comes with actual like gamer loot. You could get an amiibo.
Oh, interesting.
T-shirts. Because the thing at loot boxes is that you already know you're kind of paying too much. So the base meal is already decent. So loot. And so the people who just meal subsidizing the people who get some
It's a
free
bit more over, but there's a chance that you're going to get some cool games.
just like loot box.
Yeah. That's probably way more reasonable than day-old McDonald's. It's on Vancouver. There's 2 of them, same name. One of them is more just a like very small hole-in-the-wall place, than the other one's like a big establishment, but they're both called Stormcrow. I think one of them is Tavern and one of them is something else. Anyways,
It's kids meal. The loot is a toy.
fills. You get T-shirts and kids meals. He's just Amiibos and T-shirts. This is like nicely branded stuff, not like some super
Totally different.
So I believe you can roll a d20.
Okay.
And depending on what the d20 results in, you get a different. I think it's a shot. I'm not sure. If you get 20, Remember, something cool happens. I don't know.
People are complaining the camera's tilted, and like to my eye, it is noticeably tilted.
Is it just tilting over time?
No, I don't think so.
Because didn't we check it before the stream?
What's the point of hiring professional camera people anyway? Does that seem better?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell without me there.
If it's like, is this shelf on an angle?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And like we're shooting at it from an angle.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So people probably are just attributing that.
I think we're just gonna. That's visibly better. We're gonna roll with that.
Okay, cool.
There's a little too much headroom. Jake, can you adjust the headroom down a little bit?
Some head.
Mute this.
Max
Mute
arm.
this. What the heck were we talking about? It seemed important.
The boxes.
What was really important? And it's tips. Okay.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
this next YouTube, and this nothing channel, from 80,000 to 160,000 subscribers in 3 days.
So you doubled.
Which
Nice.
is actually 2 days because it was the evening of the 7th. And it's not yet even the evening of the 9th. And the reason, did you watch the NCIX bankruptcy vlogs?
Yeah.
So you saw ultimately, okay, some people saying it was the wrong move to give it to him. I mean, he bid for it, like he won it in the auction, but did let it go. Do you think it was the move?
I think what you maybe should have done, because you knew this, what beat to the scale, maybe you thought more, so I don't know, but you knew you would pass 100K.
You also knew that his tips was going to end up with 100,000 subscribers eventually anyway.
Accelerating it. You could have from him with the idea that like, hey, I'll get you the cat tips one.
Oh, that's interesting.
You could have used your contacts instead of using his contacts to try to be like, hey, let's get him the freaking button.
You know, I didn't think at all. I should have totally done that. I should have totally been like, look, I want the NCX Tech Tips one, but
Ultimately,
we should have just created a troll, like, extra one.
yes. It's almost identical to his channel with like a period or something.
Yeah.
So that you can't really tell.
Yeah.
Just been like, guys, let's get this dude, because you got 80 something. You could have made
I
it.
didn't think of it at all. Why do I even ask you these things?
You need to make NCX bot. Or like, use a weird picture for the air or something.
I tell you that. Okay, so first of all people saying like he didn't deserve it because he's a top 10 channel or something, or he really has subscribers. What are you talking about? They uploaded a lot of videos.
I didn't.
People like mad that like a crappy top 10 channel, and I'm kind of sitting here going, you guys, I don't think we left the entire cut of all the interaction with him in the video. What happened? He's seen it fair and square.
Yeah.
Asked for it, and he was like, no. And then explained I was the one who started the channel, and he's like, oh man, take it.
He seemed cool.
He was pretty good.
And a little bit I saw, he seemed cool.
In a couple minutes between being on the kitchen floor and the front, where we were up to think, and I went like, it was really cool. This what happened with him was he was with PMCN when he crossed his 100,000 threshold. So his go button. Ready. He was with PMCN for a reason. He crossed in the shuffle and he wasn't able to claim his silver play button.
Yeah.
So that he could redeem it because he didn't earn it, because he did earn. You know, at the end of the day, that in my fantastic studio with mixing stuff, 3 buttons all,
And 2 gold.
2 buttons, and he was so cool about it. If he wasn't really cool about it, and it was like, I think should have. If he wasn't cool about it, I would have wanted to fight harder for it. But he was just such a nice guy that it was,
Hard to,
was the right thing to do.
I understood your stance at the time, but I would have tried to pull something. Like to make like a really similar channel name or
Better move. I still feel good about how it went down. And if nothing else,
we should make a channel that's like NCX, but like change something very minor. It's NCX or NCX.com.
NCX.com, and NCX a small com.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I remember having an argument internally what we were going to call it because N6 wasn't available for some reason.
Okay.
And I questioned like quite a few times about wasn't N6.com.
Oh.
Like, because you can't have a period in the URL.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Like, yeah. Yeah, you can't. You could have float plane NCX back. So honestly, the one that I really want is the gold one. But I'm gonna tell you something. The gold one is missing.
Did someone take it from the office?
Kind of looks that way. Wasn't me. Look, no, actually, it had nothing to do with it.
Just rapidly speculating privately who it might have been.
So the rumor I heard was that it was in the CEO's office, the last it was seen, and no, it's not. So I would, and Billy doesn't have it. Asked Riley. He's a dude. He would have told me.
Yeah.
So he's just one working on the NCX Tech Tips channel, and he says he doesn't have it. And last time he said it was in the CEO's office. So, you know, in other crazy important news, Jake did not put in the document. There's a speculation that we will be acquiring the NCX Tech Tips channel. And put that to rest once and for all, we're not acquiring the NCIX Tech Tips channel.
R.I.P. in peace.
Yep. Not for effort, but
Disappointed, Ed.
it would be possible. And so, yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. I had a actually pretty bad day that day. I had a bunch of things go wrong, and I had the call that sort of was the Dylan McGuffin will be getting it. Is belief that whoever is in control of it is going to basically go to the ground and piss on the ashes, according to the plan that they have described to me, which is really disappointing because I put a lot of work into that. I mean, that's where I check my teeth as a YouTuber. That's where you cut your teeth as a YouTuber.
I said that we're not getting it. I was pretty excited when we were talking about it.
So I felt very strongly that we should be able to buy it, but it's a little more complicated than that legally, and it's just not going to be possible. So, I mean, I just went with you guys. The only way we were going to get it was if we bought NCIX. Which, it seemed like a grading paper.
It said no.
I was going to be diplomat. So, it could mean sophisticated intelligence.
Yes, definitely.
Management system.
Yes.
The data creates the intellectual property, including their fantastic mobile. Basically, the instrument.
Oh, absolutely. He's wondering where their shipments are.
Fantastic relationships that will answer with potential suppliers.
Giving people money and then never giving it to them is a really great way to establish trust.
Well, and to be clear, so this is interesting. So the way that it works with the bankruptcy proceedings is that these assets are being liquidated by bankruptcy trustee. So funds are actually going to the original owner. Funds are going to the creditors. Meaning that even if NCX owed you, I don't know, $6 million, hypothetical number. Not me, someone else. But it's hypothetical, it's real. NCX owed you $6 million. Let's say the auction that we attended, and through this of the domain and the intellectual property and all, and I just raise, let's use a realistic number, $2 million. Which is only this is a leak out there. Of your 6 million, you would get 1/15 of that, whatever that works out to, like 300K.
Oh, I had to go banks first.
So it's out equally.
Yeah.
So some people have more robust contracts that will entail them to being paid first.
A lot of the time, as far as I know, and I could be totally wrong here, but I think that usually results in banks.
So the new owners, Fair and Square, own the domain, the server infrastructure, whatever it is they've paid the trustee for, and there's no debt associated with it. Life is really that simple. If it was, I don't know, let's say Corsair, who is owned in dollars. Did I say owned or owed?
Yeah.
It's $1 million. Do we engage this brand again? Do new management?
It'd be salty. It was a hardware company. I would look at this going like, okay, last time you guys didn't make it, you're going into the exact same market with the exact same inventory stuff, with the exact same buildings, with less storefronts.
It's probably dramatically harmed SEO.
Dramatically harmed SEO because everything's going to be about you being bankrupt. A huge amount of customers that never receive shipments of possibly our products, and then upset with us potentially because of that. I wouldn't really want to touch it.
It'd be like this corpse is in the ground.
Especially if you're a GPU company. If you're company shipping GPUs, you can immediately. Why would you?
And here's the thing: NCIX has been effectively out of business for so long. It doesn't take a long time for it to be filled. You know, the computing in NCIX's old locations.
Yeah.
Memory Express. I don't know if you know this, but I don't know if anyone knows this. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, good. So this is This is a thing that is definitely very public. It's Memory Express is. X is going to be opening up a new store.
To the Langley location like 3 or 4 times since NCIX closed in Langley.
And how hurt are you that you have to go somewhere slightly different?
It's ever so slightly more difficult to get to. It's also sort of on the way to work. So the parking's a little annoying.
So that's the thing, is they better the game for 3 months. What incentive is there for anyone to go? Because you don't... okay.
This is what it looks like. Did you ever go to NCIX's?
Our computers isn't much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least... okay, I'm going to double check this. But at least to my knowledge, Memory Express doesn't hide the per location inventory the way that NCIX started doing over the last few years. This is an incredibly
so annoying,
frustrating expense. Where we actually show you what was in stock. It's right here. Like, it's just, like, okay, here's in this region in each store.
Online stores, different individual stores.
Actually, this, I don't know how 1998 this is. No, this is 1998. Like,
it's like 2008.
Okay, hold on a second. A way back machine, NCIX. Okay, let's just look, actually, oh, okay, we got 1998. Let's go 1999, okay? Let's go to 1999, my friends. Here we go. May the 8th, 1999. One snapshot.
Hold on.
Oh, no. This was like, oh, it archived a broken page.
That's
interesting. Okay, 2000 looks more promising. Here we go. Okay, that looks more promising. Waiting machine. Wait machine is the only way to access NCIX now. Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy?
well, if it does.
Well, like if it does, yeah. Okay, 3 snapshots. Come on, man. No, you can tell this show doesn't have a producer because stuff this wouldn't. Okay.
Wait, what?
Wait, well, that's
this
not.
is modern.
This is 20.
Bring dry.
This is 2018 February. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, we can still this has looked like at the
Jump
end.
on there. Click somewhere on there.
On here?
Yeah.
Let's just go like here. Man, way back is slow. Okay, so this is 2004. This would have been like, oh, this would have been like the prime time of me shopping there as an actual customer. Remember Solistica?
Yeah, actually. Remember Soltec?
Remember MD? Wait, they didn't.
Oh. Barely.
What else we got? C3?
I think I owned one of these.
Dang,
But not
Singleton
one.
B.
Docs.
VG. Jeez.
Okay, I think one of those, but like years.
Right, anyway, I forgot what we were even talking about. Wait, NCIX. What's the price was basically what I would have paid for the YouTube
The
channel.
plaque.
Well, tell me this. I had more than one person pitch me internally that if we were to buy the NCIX brand,
Yeah.
so one thing, do you think suppliers would take the NCIX brand seriously if it was me running it?
Actually, yeah.
And if we buy it, should become a system integrator?
Ooh.
I wonder what Twitch chat thinks of this.
I think you'd have to do it really well.
Well, the idea would be that it wouldn't want to go crazy. Like, my perfect system builder would probably be closer to Puget than to like Main Gear.
I expected that. Really, I didn't mean like highlight water cooling. I meant like really months of issues.
Yes.
Like robustness would have to be like way up there. Which Puget, yeah, they've got that. They test after their testing, which is crazy. But just because of the public-facingness of this attachment company, you'd have to be quite careful.
It would be one of those things where, you know, every customer service issue has the potential to go viral. You know, and the biggest issue actually is just that there's the potential for people to perceive hardware choices in the N6PC division as being influenced or influencing the media side of it. There's a reason that nobody's ever really crossed those lines except me.
Yeah.
I was already doing this. And
Yeah.
it's hilarious because you see so many people looking for the business because he worked at a computer store that was trying to sell you stuff. I'm just sitting here going, oh man, it's obvious, but you could certainly find ulterior motive in there if you dug deep enough.
LCIX?
LCIX, no.
It's Computer
Inc.
Inc.
Extreme.
X.
Yes, and I'm hoping to hear today about just sort of the update. But my name's out of that. I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to get my hands on the channel. I had really hoped to.
The chat is chanting LCIX.
LCX, yes. Lordy.
Okay, that might go okay. Go to mid-90s advertising?
Things completely ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, as I can tell, the only way system integrators make any money is through MD programs with brands like Intel and NVIDIA. Probably.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit of a problem.
Intel when it comes to messaging.
Yeah. To be before people freak out, we're not talking anything about politics at all. We're just talking about...
So we actually intend to continue our business and making money.
Yeah.
Space.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the burger flipping robot.
We'll get into that. Actually, any of the topics on the we were discussing with you, Dick. So it's a beautiful functional website. But Squarespace, your work might take 17 months for alpha.
Wow.
Wow. It's just super simple. It's free. Sure, it's an object. That's a great needs. Squarespace's cover pages feature you can put a beautiful and sites. Everyone can push content on this very first Squarespace module. Keep the million potential doors. Potential focus card required at Squarespace. You can hit me and see you. Streaming for live. And it's a jerky. It's a jerky. This is stream. Type in there. Fantastic. You into the tradition today?
I'm down.
You whole thing this week. I haven't had this such a teriyaki in a little while. It's like it feels a nurse coming. Tons of it. It's tasty and not for you.
You want to give me an easy one?
13. Yeah, you want to do it today?
Yeah.
Sure, man.
I wanted to eat the hot one, and I was like,
all right.
I'll put the team.
Wow, I don't think they actually sent us much hot stuff this time around. Nope. There's the Reaper.
Done.
Over the Ruby. Was full for you. They've got 15 different flavors from ones like the sorted turkey and the maple to super flavors. There's BBQ sauce, and you can use LTT to save 10% at Savage Jerky. That one at all. I actually forgot about that one. That one's pretty good too. Just waiting for their doors and we'll see how it's going.
Can you explain that to me? That result that you're talking about?
Eat 4 or 5 pieces.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna keep my record going.
Chugs. Speaking of keeping records, Chugs is a solution for business owners and freelancers. It's a lot more too. It can help you create and send slick-looking invoices quickly. You can keep your time with timesheet function. You can expenses. You can keep track of who's you. And they've even featured you to see when your clients look at your invoice for the first time. You can make payment on your terms, including the ability to deposit through them, and the web available for both Android and iOS as the full features of the desktop, so you can take all of the functionality with you. Oh, if you have any questions, you can reach to an actual human. Stations, just answers. So is it just win and to win? How do you hear section to free 30-day trial? How you doing over there, bud?
I'm all right. I'm okay.
Oh, LTX. You're BLTX, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
LTX is gonna be, sir.
I'm stoked. It was really fun last time, and we're cranking it up.
We're cranking it to 11. We're gonna be a much bigger menu. I'm gonna throw the link in the Twitch chat here.
Well, BLTX if I don't die right now.
So the Richmond Olympic level is going to be huge. Second mention, the idea is to keep focus on experiences. We want you guys to get on with cool through games and tutorials, and there's going to be a major focus on PC gaming this year. It's at 35 Canadian rubles, and you can check them at ltxexpo.com. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of people there. Like last year, it actually went surprisingly for a first event. Like it's an actual picture from last year. We framed it really clearly, so you can't see the empty chairs up here. Because we did have people up there. And
no one wants to sit in the stands.
There was the stands. Chins. Some squisher fans.
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Spaghetti fans.
Milk fans.
This one's good. Milk fans. The fans.
Okay.
Later.
Do my thing. Should I do that later or now?
Oh, so, float plane news. Okay. You float plane news. Site totally works.
Most of the time.
That people.
That's the majority of the time, actually.
So this. So just recently, this working. So you can hear. Got working. Magically.
Yeah.
So you can come here and you can see all the videos in order from all the channels you subscribe to, like Bitwit, Ultra, and NSX Tips. We're currently the only creator on the platform. Credit card payments work.
Yeah.
We're still pending some stuff with payment processor,
yeah.
Braintree. I'm hoping to be able to accept both through the
I have
platform.
no actual issues with credit card payments yet.
Okay.
No actual issues.
There's placeholders and stuff still. Like
Of 'em.
this image is like not that great.
Oh.
I can show you the videos that are up there. We've got an Intel. We've accessible Intel's CPU layers. You know, like XK, U, T, all those layers that come at the end of names.
You
Max builds her first PC together with me. Chilly ensues.
getting her to do most of it. Nice.
It's just this majority of it. I barely touch it.
Nice.
Float plane exclusive, testing the NVIDIA Shield from the M6 auction. This case is unbelievable. Actually amazing. It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
AP. Good job. Yay, it didn't do what it did last week.
I know. It's.
This thing is still slightly slower.
I think it was actually our connection here.
That would make sense.
Because Johnny came in earlier this week and kind of reset everything, updated all the firmware, and I haven't been having buffering issues on Floatplane or YouTube this week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, this is just it's worth a watch. Let's go ahead and go back.
Usually it'd be over. It's still going. Act.
This one on YouTube today. This one went up already. This is a possible. You can't really tell because the thumbnail is footage from the LTT video. Anyway, don't worry about it. What can it be?
You can update these.
Well, you can. I just haven't done
Okay.
it. So anchored. I think we know the answer. Actually, I think everyone. The funny thing about that is it's very polarizing. I think everybody knows their own answer, and it's not the same answer as other people.
And it's just dressed. Yeah.
And people talk to me about is the most amazing thing of all time.
Me too.
And they can't believe nobody ever thought of that. Like, it's crazy. So what was your news?
I'm Floatplane starring.
Are we?
I really mentioned it to you earlier. I'm looking for someone
mention.
with like, Node, Angular, Sales, Waterline kind of experience in that realm. Hit me up. I don't have a specific link for you to go to right now. You can tweet me. There will be a link.
Do you have a specific budget in mind? We can talk about it offline.
I do actually, but yeah.
All right. So let's bring the team up to how many then?
That'll be 5.
6?
Well, okay, it depends on how you.
Depends how you
6
count
with
it, I guess.
me, 7 with you, 8 with Yvonne.
Right.
9 with. Don't know if name is public.
Yeah. No, let's not count me and Yvonne then.
Are we
So
counting?
6 then. We're counting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be 6.
So that'd be 6. It's crazy how many people thought that we were just going to be doing this with one person and Luke. When you
We
did
were
initial
for a long time.
That was fun though.
In the initial call video, we already had one person, so we were going up from there. But yeah, we're doing pretty well right now. We're pushing forward. Although we're in a situation where we're doing a lot of reacting, so I want to increase the team size a little bit so we can push forward. Because we're working to some bugs, we're fixing some things, we're doing some user suggestions and stuff. But I want to keep pushing forward with the mainline stuff.
Yeah. We've got a really good roadmap. We just need to make sure we don't fall into that trap where we've got a great roadmap. We never end up working.
And we do keep feature creeping. Basically, everything feature creeps, and our stuff is feature creeping as well. But yeah,
Cool.
being from the States with a related degree is quite important because I want to move you here. Yeah. So remote work, no. Remote work for 3 months, yes. Probation, cool. Once probation, no. Come here.
Get on a plane.
Yeah.
Hey, let me talk about some actual news that's in the actual doc. This is supposed to be a disaster on the forum, and the original article here is from Tunch. The hamburger chef goes to work. So this is 1 year after announcing a partnership with Burger, and Mesotics' resident chef graduated Hamburger University and started flipping burgers in an actual restaurant. So this is an AI-enabled burger flipping arm thing. It uses thermal imaging and image recognition to tell which burgers need flipping. It can handle 12 burgers at a time, and it's 100% independent. The work is to bring in patties and take the cooked ones away, apply cheese, assemble sandwiches. Actually, it doesn't sound that cool. The idea was that for your $60,000 per flippy each,
Yeah.
and 20% annual recurring maintenance fee, so 12 grand a year, you would get functionality on the road, like the ability to deep fry, grill, add seasoning and cheese to patties.
What drives me nuts is how can it not refill the patty selection? Like what? Even if workers had to bring like stacks of patties separated by paper, whatever, I don't know, and just like
load into a thing, you know. So it was designed to make up for the cost with decreased wait times, better consistency, decreased food waste, and then obviously, eventually, a reduction in staff. 8. The article from BBC.com. Flipping take a fine after 1 day on the job. The flipping lasted exactly as long as it started when I was running painting business.
Oh, I thought you meant. All right.
Oh, this was hilarious.
So was the other one that I'm talking about. But yes,
This one was hilarious. Okay, get this. Okay. One of the time-consuming aspects of painting is ladder movements.
Okay.
Going up and on the ladder, moving the ladder,
Over.
getting your bucket and your paint back together and getting up. Okay. That's one of the things that takes the most amount of time. So I see someone in setting the ladder close to the wall and using your whole wingspan, both hands. When I see someone in the ladder 4 feet away from the wall, leaning in like this, painting with one hand, like pushing themselves back onto the ladder, like I was just.
This was like I don't know the proper name for it, but like you're not leaning the ladder against the
No, it's
house,
just a step stool.
Yeah.
He was just leaning himself
That's
against the house
ridiculous.
for like
That
no
makes
apparent reason.
actually
The
no
crew
sense.
chief wanted to kind of try and make it work. She's a good person.
I'm probably bad at painting, and that sounds really dumb.
But there's a word for it. Like this was back in I don't know 2006. Yeah, probably around 2006,
guessing.
2000. Yeah, it was probably 2006. The economy was really good. The 2008 crash hadn't really happened yet. Like it was. This was a period of time where getting into a subway, you might only hope to have your burger made correctly because people were like desperate. They were hiring just like anyone, no bread they were for anything, and it was really hard to find people. But I was just like, no, we can't do this. Okay, Flippy. Flippy was supposed to be able to cook 2,000 burgers a day, but after a day, Flippy was taken offline to be upgraded to work faster, with a little sign saying he'd be cooking soon. The employees that work with him are also being trained to help Flippy work faster. It's likely that this is due to the increased volume at the store due to the news of Flippy being deployed. So that's the news.
2,000 days sounds like a lot, but when you break it down,
It's really actually not that much.
it's not that crazy. And you see in the video, like his flipping thing is very, like it's slow.
The weird thing about it is like, you know what's that robot called? The four-legged one that you can kick and it doesn't fall over?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's Boston Dynamics.
Like that thing's been around for 6 years?
This does not seem very sophisticated or good.
How does it cost $60,000?
I'm not this. I'm sure they're not making them. That's why. This one's nuts. It's crazy.
Is this new?
Yeah.
Boston Dynamics has a new robot. That's like kind of news, right?
It's been news for a while. We're kind of late. It
Like
opens the door, and you can like screw with it while it tries to open the door, and it'll correct and it'll brace and it does all this other kind of stuff. Why is it lagging?
I
There
don't
we go.
know.
So it'll like bring an arm thingy out. I don't know where the arm actually comes from. Oh, it's the one with the arm. It's slipping through the door.
These guys are trippy. Like this is scary stuff. This is like straight out of Portal.
And then he like braces the door on his leg, gets the arm around the door, and then pulls it open, lets the other one through. And I think what we're gonna see after this is when they try to interfere, because Boston Dynamics is all about that.
It's over.
Oh no, okay. Is this one? Testing robustness? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's like, that's the point I was trying to make is like, I don't really understand why Flippy.
There's crazy out there. This feels like a really advanced like project that someone on YouTube made. I don't know. I'm sure it's more complicated than that. I'm sure thermal sensing stuff is actually quite complicated.
Right.
Like the robot vision that they've programmed into this is probably pretty cool.
There's probably some pretty onerous sort of health and safety certifications that we had to go through.
Okay,
It sounds
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, why don't we move on to the next topic? So humans, your jobs aren't safe, except for they are. Because Flippy is not that great.
But then we'll make a good Flippy.
This is pretty
Or they'll
crazy.
update that one.
So this was posted by Mr. Disaster on the forum, but and the original article is this like from our forum? Looks like one of the users from banked out their personal information and said basically, dear taxpayer, Newegg has provided the Department of Revenue Services records of your online purchases. They put addition online because apparently they still live in 2002.
Super old. Yeah.
During taxable years 2014, 2015, and 2016, according to these records, you made purchases in at least one of these years, but were not charged Connecticut sales tax. Therefore, you owe tax on the items. Tax, interest, penalty. Due $103.10. This is based on only spending about $1,000. So anyone who was a heavy buyer, or like maybe as the correction point for group is for their friends, for example, or regularly bought systems and built them for other people, if they didn't go and pour through the Connecticut tax code to determine that Newegg should have been paying them tax, or should have been submitting, doing them tax, and then submitting it to the state of Connecticut, they could be on the hook for thousands and thousands of dollars.
American online tax law is basically, as far as I know, actually the worst out of anyone.
It's pretty broken, and like the average person, I don't think the average person should be blamed for not being aware of this stuff. Like on the one hand, yes, officially, according to taxes here in Canada too, you should pay tax even if you weren't charged tax on the transaction. For example, if we were to buy something on Craigslist, or sorry, to sell something on Craigslist, I'm supposed to pay income tax on the money made, and if it was to sell something on Craigslist, I am supposed to, I think, over a certain amount. So if I was doing it regularly, I'm supposed to collect provincial and general sales tax and submit it to the appropriate governing bodies on behalf of the buyer. Like, all the way back to 2014 to 2016, and then just singers to everyone? Wow. No subpoena weren't involved. The DH just sent Newegg a letter. They complained, which, I mean, would they have a legal justification to not? I mean, I guess that's people's personal information, right? Like, that's pretty BS.
Yeah.
Man.
Only the amounts. That's the only thing they sent. The amount.
Well, would they be able to mail
only
them?
sent the amount?
They'd be able to mail them with their personal information.
Name and the address, I guess.
Yeah, so name, address, and
Yeah, so apparently they just submitted the names and addresses and asked Newegg for the amount. So okay, I can see Newegg supplying that, but I don't know, man. Like, this is one of those things where this is not the consumer's fault.
Massacre said, "I'm screwed. I spent over $13K on Newegg. Are you from Connecticut? I think you have to. I think this only applies to people in
This only
Connecticut."
applies to Connecticut for now, but this is kind of worms.
Yeah.
Because even here in Canada, the way that the taxation has worked for online purchases has been a little bit complicated at times. And as far as I know, nothing was ever done attractively. And as far as I know, when those changed, back in 2008, 2009, somewhere around there, when they introduced harmonized sales tax,
Yeah.
the onus was on the retailer to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
ones who were in trouble.
Yeah.
It seemed tougher to me than putting in, individual,
Yeah.
George in Connecticut.
No, I completely agree. Crap, what was I going to say? So a lot of tax law was made before it was reasonable to buy something in one area when you are in another area. And then when that started becoming more popular, it was mostly like calling in to order stuff. And it was such low volume that
Didn't
nobody
matter.
cared. And even once you started buying things on the internet, most people were pretty skeptical about buying things on the internet, and there wasn't a lot of that going on. And then Amazon blows up, and all these other sites blow up, and a lot of people are doing a pretty hefty portion, possibly most of their shopping on the internet.
Yep.
Oh, it's a big deal.
Because, I mean, remember, it's not like we're in a situation where the individual states are just, like, flush with cash.
Yeah.
So if they can find a way to get, anywhere between a couple of percent and a couple more than % of every transaction that takes place online for items coming into their state, I mean, items don't get there with a truck driving on a road that theoretically the state maintains.
Someone said, Luke, used tax covers out-of-state purchases. I'm assuming they mean U.S. tax. Not really. This is
Use tax.
use.
US.
No, he said USE.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's use tax. Like sales. It's just what
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Either way, it doesn't. In all cases. And there's really weird situations where, like, for if you're talking about digital stuff, if if the company you're buying something from has a server in your state, that's Nexus, so they have a like location there, which changes how it all works. It's very complicated.
And it varies depending on whether it's a digital goods or service or a physical item.
Yeah. It varies per state, per county in some places. Like
Yeah.
it's
actually
use tax is extremely complicated.
And speaking of things that are extremely complicated, feelings about this latest bit of news. The
We're
original
still
article
talking
here.
about use tax. It doesn't matter. There's other things that apply. Sorry, I got that part wrong. There is still other stuff that applies.
McAfee acquires VPN company, which I actually didn't realize was Canadian. Was.
Okay.
There. Terms of the deal have not been disclosed. McAfee says it plans to integrate TunnelBear's technologies into their own VPN product that I've never heard of until now, SafeConnect. Apparently, TunnelBear will also continue to run its own products under its own brand. According to the report, TunnelBear is a profitable company, so presumably McAfee paid a pretty penny for it. Just a little bit of history. McAfee was acquired by Intel in 2011.
It's McAfee.
McAfee? Whatever. To Insecurity, and then it was later split into a new company with the old McAfee, whatever name,
no A.
in partnership with private equity firm TPG. So this is their second acquisition since becoming a separate company again, and so here's what on this. As you guys probably know, TunnelBear is a pretty has been a long time
Oh,
supporter
you're right.
of the show.
Yeah.
So we've reached out to them for comment. I don't think we've heard back yet. I'm actually not sure if we've heard back yet. But we would love to hear from our community what they think of this news. So one key change is that TunnelBear is owned by an American interest. They will have to comply with some American laws, as far as I know.
I'm gonna.
So that's one difference that there might be to the service.
Yeah.
And their sort of way of operating. Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
come in slightly here. Canada has a lot of crazy privacy laws too. The U.S. privacy laws are more well documented, but if you want to have some fun, Google Spy Palace. It'll bring up some Canadian stuff. Interesting articles.
So, yeah.
And Five Eyes.
So that was some interesting news. In other interesting news, this was posted by Scenario on the forum. The original article is from overclock.net. There's apparently gotten Coffee Lake working on 100 and 200 series chipsets. So the Core i3 8100 has been tested working completely on a 100 series board. Apparently multiple 100 series boards. And what else do we have here? So Little Hill contributed in adding the Coffee Lake CPU microcode and suggestions of using correct ME version to boot the CPU. Root user 123 fixed iGPU by extracting Coffee Lake iGPU VBIOS on the latest GOP driver from Sonics and updating the VBIOS and GOP driver. Contributed in booting 6-core CPU on MSI Z270 motherboard and giving lots of assistance in solving problems. SW contributed in testing and writing its fix. So the issue with the PCIe 16X not working and CPU voltage readout fixes when using Coffee Lake CPUs. Very, very interesting.
Nice eBay GPU ads you got going on there.
Because of higher power limits, this is a quote here, I would not suggest this mod with i5 and i7 K-series CPUs. So, this comes to... I'm not talking to you, Siri. Go away. So this comes to the speculation that took place when Intel said they would not be supporting Coffee Lake on 100 and 200 series. I'm going to go through Jake's notes here first as a courtesy. Actually, that was the first thing in his notes. Good job, Jake. So here was what they said. For the most part, but it didn't work well enough or reliably enough for Intel to allow this compatibility to make it to the market. So they started and stopped the compatibility. Most of this was due to Coffee Lake's different board setup. It was not necessarily that the board didn't have a power delivery, but the board's power delivery is distributed over more pins to better support Coffee Lake's 6-core chips like the 8700K. So WCC reported that ground pins went from 377 to 391, and power pins went from 128 to 146. Something a lot of people don't know is that on particularly a new CPU, I found a really good, I forgot I was looking at this, but i7-920 pin map. Cool. This blog, Re-Engine blog, check this out. I forgot I was looking at this, but this is a map posted on reengine.org. This entire of the different pins and then coded them. So you can see here, all this green stuff is memory controller. All this blue stuff is QPID. All the gray stuff. So like 70-80% of it's in here, a bunch of this in here, probably a good 50% of it's in here. All that gray stuff is reserved pins. Those reserved pins might be for different SKUs, have more hardware in them. For example, this is a Bloomfield, and it's architecturally very similar to the contemporary Xeons. So Xeons would have an additional QPI link that would have taken probably, let's go back here, probably all the gray ones here.
Yeah.
It would have been their QPI link for the other CPU that would have been needed. But there's still all this other stuff, and a lot of the time, those reserved pins are just in case Intel decides to do like a new CPU with, maybe more cores, for example. It can use those for something. So this is just an example of them utilizing reserved pins in order to add more power. So extra notes here. They say that the pin doesn't matter because they're just disconnected because those pins are reserved on KB Lake except for 2, which you can just cover with tape. So the extra pins offer about 8% greater impedance. So theoretically, lower power chips like the i3-8100 are fine. But you may have issues with overclockable or core count or higher TDP chips. There's a screenshot here of an 8700K working. So you can check this out on a presumably MS board. But no actual evidence of it running correctly or stably. So there you go. It's exactly what Intel ever publicly said that was it, but it's what we understood. It's exactly what we knew it was. Markets said it can't work well enough, so...
Unless you try super, super hard and use an i3-8100, which is probably not worth the work.
So that's where we're on that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I think it's kind of interesting. PUBG has been rocking for a long time, and a lot of people in the community, including myself, are pretty unsatisfied with how they've been kind of doing a lot of stuff.
So for the uninitiated, why?
Their servers are super garbage. Their downtimes that they choose for maintenance, even when they schedule it ahead of time, is in like prime time for North America, which is pretty rough, and they do all the servers. There's a huge amount of hacking, and that's not being dealt with to a satisfactory level, including hacks like something called ESP, which is like, do you remember the Pokemon Go cheating stuff? Where people would get like a website and it would show where all the Pokemon are? Mm-hmm. You can get that except for PUBG. So it shows you where everyone on the map is, and you can be running on an external computer, so you don't even need to have it on your computer, so there's no way to detect it, because you can just VPN the other device, they'd have no idea it's going to your network.
Right.
So if they did find a way to track it somehow, which I don't think they could, then you can just VPN and there's no way for them to check it anyways, because it would just be
basically has like fundamental flaws.
Huge issues. There's things that piss a lot of people off, it took all this money that they got for having a successful game, and instead of when what a lot of people think needed to happen is throwing all of it towards development of the main game, they developed like a mobile game, and then they did this huge push to get it onto Xbox, and like all this kind of stuff instead of developing the core thing. Version 1.0 released, which was, as far as I can tell, a giant publicity stunt because it was garbage. There was still huge amounts of issues in the game. Like it's been really frustrating. You drop in, you have to parachute in. I know you haven't really played. I don't know how much you know about it. You have to parachute in, and you have to sit there for a little while and wait for things to actually spawn, like loot. Sometimes it's there. Who knows? It might not work. You shoot into the ground. It might not let you out of the parachute. Then when it does, it might just kill you or do a whole bunch of damage because it's like, oh, you fall. It's like, there's huge rubber banding issues for a huge time. There's massive performance issues. There's still some performance issues, but not as much as there was before.
Tell me how you really feel about it.
Into the game's building specs and stuff, but it released the mode after PUBG in this engine because they made it, and it's what a lot of people would consider overall experience. As into the gameplay, because I don't like the building aspects. You have to like actively build walls and do all this weird stuff, and some it's ridiculous to watch because you just watch people like rapidly build walls and stairs and stuff like super, and then like, okay, it's over. because you somehow got an angle on them while they were rapidly building this thing too. I'm not super into the gameplay. I'm happy that it's beating out PUBG because I want them to smarten the heck up because I'd rather play that game. It's just really frustrating sometimes. Anyways, I don't know how much the Twitch chat actually agrees with me. We should do a poll.
Hell yeah.
Week more, PUBG or
All right.
Fortnite.
I'm on it.
Like playing PUBG more. Be angry when people land around a wall. We'll be like clearly behind something, and it's not the other dude isn't hacking or anything. It's just huge latency issues. The tick on the servers is garbage. I don't remember what it is now, but it was like 11 to 17 before.
Really?
It's really bad.
Why? This is something, maybe you can explain this to me from a technical standpoint. Why run a creepy tick rate? When it goes, what would be better?
Okay, so in October, they were saying 17 hertz tick rate.
Really?
Yeah.
How can you even play a competitive game like that?
Yeah. Issues with the game, and a lot of it's just ignored. More people are voting for Fortnite right now. It's really close, to be fair.
Wow. These votes are coming really fast.
And a lot of people.
To most polls we run,
Yeah.
this is crazy. But then you think of it, we're streaming on Twitch. Most of the polls.
That's fair. Yeah. It's because we're not surprised by.
Right. Fortnite is edging out PUBG, which shouldn't be surprising.
Exactly. Or for the gameplay style of PUBG and all this kind of stuff, there's just so many frustrating things. Anyways.
Wish I had time to play games. I legitimately do. So, in other news, game over for drones.
That's bad.
A drone crashed in Arizona National Forest, starting a wildfire. I think it's something about 200 acres? 200 acres that burned? 3 acres. 300 acres with 30 firefighters able to contain it within the day. It burned in a day. It's unclear what kind of drone it was, but it caught fire when it crashed, setting fire to a grassland area called Kendrick Park. The pilot was identified and charged with starting a forest fire. Lawmakers are pushing to criminalize drone flying in wildfire areas. So basically, you're not going to be able to fly a drone near a person, near an animal, near a vehicle, near a wildfire area, which is like, what isn't.
Yeah.
A spokesperson for the forest said it is legal to fly a drone in the forest as long as it doesn't take off in a wilderness area and as long as there are no nearby wildfires. So I don't know how you're going to turn this into a criminal charge against the guy. Wait, no, okay, yeah, you can be. Okay, so I get. Is it negligence? I guess so.
Because I feel like you'd have to have precautions along the route. So if nothing else, you'd have to have like people out along the route. Because a few film crews would still be able to get away with it.
Interesting.
Because they could like, crew around just in case the drone fell. You know?
So, here's the gun. Good drones, good porn? Rhode Island is proposing a bill requiring internet service providers to block sexual content. And not necessarily for the reason you might think. Because you would, it's probably a think of the children. But what they really want is to get $20 from you, so one-time fee, $20 from you to be able to access pornography, which will give money to the state to help fund the operation of the Council on Human Trafficking.
You have to send in a request in writing that you want it disabled. You have to present your ID to verify that you're older than 18. And you have to acknowledge receiving written warning regarding the danger associated with deactivating the filter. Wow.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
With current wording, it seems like the filters for illegal things like child porn would also be deactivated if you paid the fee. What? How does that help the problem that they're. Okay, nah. Completely regardless of the moral issues of blocking anything on the internet to any degree, whatever. Completely ignore all that kind of stuff for now. Just look at the stance they're trying to make, and the result that they're setting up. They blow up. That's something I'm confused about right now.
So
What?
But they would
That's
have a
so
registry
weird.
of all the people who are unlocked,
Yeah.
unzipped.
Which is just. That's just awkward. Like, it's safe to maybe do it in person, because to be in writing, you have to acknowledge that you've seen this form saying that you're a bad person, essentially. And you have to present your ID. It says present ID, not like.
So, my understanding is that human trafficking and effectively slavery is actually a huge problem in the porn industry. I don't
Okay.
do a ton of research on it, but like, apparently people can end up, like, not so much in North America, I don't think, but people can end up signing contracts without fully understanding them that basically turn them into sex slaves.
That sounds less likely in North America.
Yeah. And so I can understand the need to sort of investigate where this internet porn is coming from, the impact it's having, and if there are illegal activities going on that are driving it. I don't think that like an internet censorship bill makes a ton of sense as the way to go about that. It seems sort of like a broader, yeah. I'm really just not sure what to say.
I just don't understand. Like, is this the worst thought out thing ever? Like, that's the only thing, that's the only conclusion I'm really coming to. Like, if, regardless of your stance on it, whether you're for it or against it, their approach is super confusing.
Okay, so people correcting me, saying that bringing people into North America to act as slaves is still pretty common. It's a little bit different though. So in North America, the way that typically, this is my understanding, the way that the human trafficking game typically works is that you're relying on their very poor language skills and the fact that they don't
Also an
understand the
ability to.
laws of the country in
Yeah.
order to get themselves out of it. But that's not really what I was talking about. I was talking about situations where actually through legal contracts, you're creating situations where people are effectively being sexually assaulted at work every day, but they're contractually obligated to continue to do it. So, yeah. Okay. So this has been interesting. Oh, we'll see you
Look
next
into the
week.
show.
Same time, same channel. Some messed up stuff, man.
It's just so weird. What a weird way to go about it.
Yeah. Well, I think they're just like, I don't know. What are you gonna do? Ask, ask Congress for funding to investigate sexual harassment?
I mean, yeah.
I heard that was one of the White House's top priorities. Stopping the sexual harassment.